someone, but I have to send her out. She has to leave the room before she comes in. And Jacque Zoccoli has translated her aha moment of 26 years ago into the practical networking coaching she does today. After developing 35 networking groups with over 500 businesses, the reality was that people did not have a clue what to do with their referrals. Jacque now focuses on bringing awareness to business people so they can screen, strategize, and profit from relationships. Her business is in Tracy. Her outreach is worldwide. Her present incentive is an hour with her, complimentary, to show you what you are missing. The phrase most often used to describe Jacque is a catalyst for spontaneous combustion. Please help me welcome Jacque Zoccoli.
Woo!
Thank you, Barbara, very much. I do so enjoy talking to these groups because you people pretty much on the whole get it. You understand what networking is all about, but there's one little problem that I have. I am a member of AA. I have abused my business cards for years. I have alliances that I have mistreated. I haven't even touched the business cards.
So no ice cream.
I did. Okay. I have managed to be part of what's called Alliance Anonymous. I have collected cards and I have abused them because I have left them in a box, in a cup, maybe even as far as in the computer, but they just sit there. And I expect them to jump up and bring me money. Anybody relate to any of that? Can any of you relate to any of that? Exactly. Well, what we're going to do today is we are going to find a way to make relationships, connections, profitable for you. And this is really important, that you don't just float along in life and assume that they're going to come to you. Let's start, first of all, with an awareness that people are doing this. So, Barbara, now that you have your hands full, would you tell me, do you ever not connect with people that you get business cards from? Yes, okay, she's one of the guilty ones. And why is it you don't do that?
I just get in a pile and I don't have time to do anything and I don't know what to do and I just...
Okay, time and not knowing, yeah?
Lacking a system.
Lacking a system, amen, I did not plant you. Yes, lacking a system. Actually, that's very true. All of those things are true. Well, let's go to the next obvious topic. The next topic is why? Why would we do anything with them? What's the profit going to be in actually doing something with them? So if I were to say to you that, logically speaking, everyone you know knows at least 200 people, I think that's pretty safe. Probably more than that, but 200 people. And if I were to actually take out of your business cards that you haven't done anything with 4 of them, so 4 of them know 200. I mean, I'm not big on math, but let's face it, we're talking 800 people. And let's say that your product value is like $100. Are you getting the drift of the value that you are missing? Big time. Big time. These people could find out more about you and you could sell more product or service to all of these people. Well, the logic is next, well, how do I do that? And that's usually a stumbling block because people, after all my years of networking, came up with that one philosophy, I have no clue what to do with business cards. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is we're going to visit the underground world of the battered business cards, is really what we're going to do. And I'm going to start right from the very beginning, and that's preparing you before you meet anyone. We'll go through this real quickly. Many of you you have been there, many of you know this concept, but it doesn't hurt to refresh your mind about the concept. The concept is the obvious, you know what your goals are, your business plan, all of that kind of stuff. The next one is that you have to prepare yourself to be the person that you want to attract. You have to actually be that person. In other words, you are a mirror to everyone that you are in front of. If you mirror confidence, positive nature, energetic, all of these things, that's your first creation of a hook. If that's the kind of person you want, that's the kind of person you need to authentically be. Authentically be. You're not going to put on airs. So you want to get yourself ready first. You want to get your little elevator speech ready so that you can say in a very short amount of time what it is that you want and what you're focused on. So something like Jacque Zoccoli, that's broccoli with a Z. My passion is to get people together to make profitable relationships. So I'm a networking coach with $1 Billion Networking. And I'm very interested in finding people that would like to uncover the gold mine in their database. It's literally a gold mine. Who do you know that's a coach or a business owner? Those are the people that I would like to meet. That's simple. I probably said it in 3 sentences. And they get the gist. They know what I'm passionate about. If I don't know what you're passionate about, how the heck am I going to help you? If you're just going to sit there and tell me about what you do, guess what? I don't think you want to be there. So passion has a lot to do with it. So you've got your little elevator speech. You've got your idea of your customer. And this is probably the most important part of what you're doing, is that you need to know your customer as intimately in your mind, demographics as you possibly can. What do they like? What don't they like? Where do they go? What kind of people do they associate with? What do they buy? What don't they buy? What do they pay attention to? Is it a newsletter? Is it a website? What do you know about your target audience? That's probably the most important after you get yourself ready. The next one is to think about what kind of a business you have. I break businesses down into 5 categories. There's the one that's focused on the business owner. There's the one that's focused on the home. There's the one that's focused on women. And there's the one that's focused on events. And the last is health. Now, as we talk, you might be in a couple. But you need to put yourself in a category of what kind of business you are. Now, some of you have just started eating, but the majority of you have not. Well, at least raise your hand. You don't have to stand up. How many of you are focused on the small business owner? Raise your hand. Hands up. Hands up. Look around you. Those of you that are in that category, look around you. Okay, those that are focused on the home, such as realtors and cleaning and that kind of a thing, raise your hands, please. Okay, look around you, see who else is in that same category. Those that are focused on women as a target, raise your hand. That's it? I thought half the group. 1, 2, 3, about 5, 6. Some of you again are in 2. Those of you that are event-driven, such as video or photography, or, okay, we have some in that group as well. And then the last is health. How many of you are focusing a lot or totally on health? Yeah, that's about the split on that. Now, looking around at the people that are in the same group that you are, these are the possible committed alliances. What I mean by that is we have all different kinds of relationships. The first relationship, even personal, would be acquaintances. People that help you when you go to the store. Maybe they delivered your paper. Maybe they're in one type of a service industry or another. So those are acquaintances, and I think of them as business resources when it comes to business. The second one are people that are your friends, but you only see them once every few months. Maybe it's a Christmas type of a thing or a holiday season type of thing. So they're your friends, but they're not really close friends. So I think of them as alliances in the business world, though they're not really going to go out of their way, but if something hits them in the face and it says your name, they'll give you an alliance, they'll give you a referral. And the third, which is really the most important, are those that are really good friends. And you know those people. You probably have 4 or 5 of them that would literally do anything short of dying for you. And those are the ones that are precious. They are very valuable. And so we call them committed alliances. They are really going to help you. They're going to go out of their way like a partner in the business to help you. Do any of you have committed alliances in your businesses? Wonderful. Good. Good. That's what we want to develop. That's where we want to go. Because that's where you're going to get the profit, where you're going to get what it is that you want. It's like making a clone of yourself without paying for a salesperson. You know, if you look at it right, that's basically what you're doing. And you're not paying for it other than you're giving equal of what you're getting. So, once you've gotten yourself figured out, what category you're in, who your alliance would be. Now I have given each of you a sheet of paper. If you don't have one, let me know. I want you to look at that paper briefly. Those are just generally a grouping of most businesses. When I originally did them, they were pretty mundane. Nowadays, changed so much in my category. I want you to circle 4 businesses whose target audience is the same as yours. You should be able to think of at least 4 of them. These are the people you are driving toward. These are the ones that you want to work with. Not everyone's going to work with you. Except the fact that you're not all going to be best buddies. It's just not going to happen. And there are various reasons why that doesn't happen. And we'll go through that briefly. But looking at this list and think of those you know, who do you know that's in any of those categories? Those are the ones in your database that you should be trying to pull out of your database and be working with them. Remember, probably one of the most important things that I'm saying today is that you are literally creating the value. You're not waiting for them. It's going to take your effort to create the value in that relationship. Very important. You can't sit back and say, well, you didn't come to me. Well, you're right, because I didn't come to you. So the value comes from you. All right, so we've gotten ourselves ready to go to meet the strangers, such as you did today. You met maybe several strangers today. That's great. You have yourself prepared. You've gotten yourself a goal. I would like to meet 2 or 3 realtors. I would like to meet 2 or 3 people in health. Whatever your goal is, you're ready to go. You've got your little elevator speech talked about. You're all set to go. Now, when you get to the event, and most of you, this is pretty logical, you're going to start with some sort of a comment that's going to be common to you. Nice shirt. Boy, I wish I was in that part of the world. This is really cool. Beautiful necklace. Whatever it happens to be, something that's common that brings you endearing to them so they understand you're on the same page. Then the next thing is, of course, to find out more about them. So it's a matter of saying, tell me a little more about your business. Tell me what you're passionate about. Most people don't ask about passion. But if they're not passionate about their business, they got to be passionate about something, we would hope. So the point is to find out that next layer, to dig a little bit deeper as to what they're doing in life and what they're passionate about. Now, as they go on forever, because who wouldn't if you ask them to tell about yourself? As they go on, you're going to be screening them in your mind. The first thing you need to know is what is their expertise. Everyone has an expertise. Even a baby can poop better than anyone anybody else around. What is their need? They need food. Whatever their need is. So expertise and need are really the basic things that I get out of anybody I talk to. Once I find a need, then I can help them. That's all that I care about right now. The third thing is who would be their, well, we would know what their dedicated customer is, but who would see that customer? So we want to create alliance for them if it's not us, or even if it is us. So you want to think about who would be an alliance you'd give them. Now, some people get all panicky because they say, well, I don't want to have to buy their widget. Because they're talking to me, I don't want to have to buy it. You don't have to buy it. The point is you want to create a relationship, and the way you're going to create a relationship is to give them an alliance or at least a referral. So once they've gotten a referral, you've given them something better than buying their product. Because actually, they are going to get more referrals because the alliance is going to be giving them people all the time. So that's far more valuable than buying their widget one time. So you need to explain that to them. Well, I would very much like to find out, first of all, what your need is. And most of them go, you really want to know my need is? I need customers. Well, that doesn't tell me anything. It tells me he's sick. Well, I'm looking for accountants. I am looking for coaches. I am looking for small business owners. So give me a little more specific. I love it when I talk to chiropractors. Somebody with a backbone. So you need to be a little bit more specific than that. So tell me what you need, or I would say it even better would be, if I were to give you an excellent referral, what would it be? And I've had people go the opposite end of the pole. I had a guy that was a web designer and he wanted to meet somebody, Steven Spielberg in Light and Magic or someplace like this. And I'm going, okay, we'll work on that. We'll work on that. And we did. We came pretty close by the time we got through. So the point was, get to know what they want and need. Then they're going to ask you, well, first of all, then you're going to finish the conversation, say, I would like to give you so-and-so. You get take their card, you write on your card and give it to them, so on and so forth. And then you're going to say, and they'll say, well, tell me about your business. You do your little elevator speech about that long. And that's basically it. I'll keep in touch with you. Let's see what we can do. End of story. You have gotten the contact, you have started the relationship, and now you're going to start to screen them in your mind. And the screening part is what's important. When you get home and record that card with card scan on the computer in categories, so you don't have to worry about it again, and you can always retrieve it, and I can help you do that. But the point is you need to record it somewhere. Then you're going to write them a note. You're going to communicate with them, whether it's in an email or calling them, whatever. There is a system that you say you want and that I have definitely, but this system is a matter of actually screening them. You're saying, are we going to work together? And by talking to them and having them tell you who their target audience is, this kind of a thing, you can figure out if they've got the same target audience. If they don't, nice to meet you. I'll keep you as a resource. That is great. I'll do what I can to help you. Next. But they're great for a resource in your database. So as you're talking to them, you set up a time to meet again. And that meeting is really the screening meeting. And that's a matter of, is there a chemistry? Are we going to be able to work together? Do you feel that this person could be as committed as you are? Are they with the same morals and values that you have? And these are pointed questions that you can ask them because you really want to work together with them as a committed alliance, but not everybody's going to be there. So, are they going to treat the customers the same way you do? Are they going to, when people return objects, are they going to be the same way you be with customer service? You have to go through these little steps, and if the people are interested in actually doubling their business, because they're now doing you, they'll go through that. And it is well worth it. And my guess is in the committed alliances that you spoke of, you've somehow done that. How many of those committed alliances have reciprocated as well as you've given? Who can say any of their committed alliances have given back. You can? Good. You feel that it's been equal? That's usually one of the problems.
Yeah.
One of the problems is I've given them $10,000 worth of business easily, and they're like, thank you, and move on. That's not a committed alliance. You haven't put the rules out there with them. Look, we're working together. I expect as much coming my way as I give you. That's the way I work. And I anticipate giving you a lot. Can we make this happen together? So that's the part that's important, is to screen. Whether it's, which is before you meet them, again, but also after you've talked to them, to see if they're going to fit. Go ahead.
But as you build a relationship with you, as you speak about that, most people have to realize it's not going to happen overnight.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's going to take about a month or so, especially with the businesses that we have.
That's right.
But as you build relationships with people, there shouldn't be much of problems of that as you're building a true relationship.
Exactly, exactly. It's going to take some time.
And I'm starting to get business from people that I met 3-4 years ago, just to keep them on my database, invite them to events, and you get to know, like, and trust each other. Sometimes it takes longer.
Exactly. And people will collect your card and say, you know, I ran across your card, and I just thought I'd call you again. And sometimes that's what it takes to spark. I had a card that was brilliant pink the first time, and I had people that kept it for years because of the colors on the card. So, but my fun thing is to go through my database and just start calling people I haven't talked to after a while. And now that I'm giving complimentary strategy sessions, this is a no-brainer. I have a ball. I just start in there and say, look, what is it that you really need? Let's talk. Let me find out what you need. And if I've figured out already that they have a common target, like a coach would, a small business owner would, this is perfect. Then I can start developing that. So it's the commonality, and you're right, it may take a long time. It should take a while. It's not like something's going to happen like that. So screening them is the most important next step. Once you've screened them, what are some of the things you can do together? Talk to me with alliances or other businesses that have the same target. What are some of the things you've done together? What have you done together with any of your alliances?
Oh, I'm working on putting together workshops where we get together and invite clients from both sides.
Good. Good. Who is your committed alliance? Who is the
Well, the
person
one particular person that I'm thinking, well, I have two that I can think of right now. One of them is a yoga studio coach, and the other one is a paralegal.
Perfect. And your business is?
I'm a life coach.
Life coach?
Yes.
Just my friend.
Yes.
So paralegal and
A yoga studio.
yoga studio.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. What would yours be?
Trade shows,
Yeah. Trade shows, okay. Those that want to do vendor booths and stuff, that's perfect. That's perfect. Any other alliances that we can think of right now before we move on? You should know, you looked at this chart, who would be a good alliance for you? T-Bird, what would be an alliance for you? Now that your mouth is...
Of course, that's Murphy's Law. Really, other people that network.
Other network what?
Other people that network.
Well, that could be a lot of people.
I don't really have a target.
Maybe you need to think about that. Look at that list again and start to redevelop that. David, what's your alliance that you want?
chiropractors are really...
Chiropractors, perfect, because they're open-minded about health. Absolutely good. So if you know of any chiropractors, you see how that works? It's people that are targeting, his case, the family. He's targeting the family, the chiropractor's targeting the family. Other people that might be doing that, besides the health, well, it could be education, there could be a variety of things that they could all fit together to work toward the family. So workshops together would be great, seminars, teleseminars,
I'm building a relationship with Linda in Blue Shield, or actually, sorry, Legal Shield. I do financial services, and I'm running a presentation within my office for all of my agents, because I have a business and an office in Ripon, and she's going to do the same thing for my agents, is running presentations about the product and the knowledge, and in that kind of case, so then you can build one-on-ones with each one of them.
Exactly. Sharing information is the easiest way because people are curious. They want to know these things. There's no commitment for you being there. I just want to be able to share this information so that you, and then when you're there, you can network with other people. So that's very powerful. Girls' Night Out. Any of you that do focus on women, this is a great opportunity for women of like businesses, whether it's jewelry or cosmetics or apparel or whatever, group together and have an event together. So it's the creative minds that make that happen, but you are the one that actually makes the value in this. It's your step out. It's your step toward these people that are going to make this happen. So you've decided to screen them, you're starting the relationship, and then you're basically putting them into 4 different areas. And we call it the 4G network that we had done before, and this still is very true. The 4G network is really what it is. The first G is getting to know them. That's what we just talked about. The second G is to give them referrals. Give them a referral. The third G is to actually grow together through some sort of a strategy of doing events together. And the fourth one is to go do it. It's the 4G network that is really powerful. You have to give in order to receive. And that's the whole concept of the whole thing. Now, how much time do we have?
You still have about
10, 15 minutes?
15 minutes.
Perfect, perfect. All right, those of you that are focusing on small business owners, raise your hand. Okay, what I'm going to do is pass this out to everybody, but look around you. Pass those around. Look around you and choose somebody to pair up with. Pair up with someone that does the same focus as you do. All right, those that are focusing, you don't need 4. Those that are focusing on the home, raise your hands. Well, just sit where you are. Those of you that are focusing on women. Okay? Cool. You can get together. Those of you that are focusing on entertainment, well, that was you also, but anybody else? Possibly not. What about health? Okay. We might be able to do a threesome on that, although it's a little harder. Anybody else in health? I know there's somebody else in health. What's her face over there is in health, right there. Oh, but you two are together. Well, you might want to be 3 on here. Did I miss anybody? What are you into? You're in a small business. All right, who does not have someone to pair up with? David, you're going to do it? What are you guys going to do? Just sit and watch?
Oh, yeah.
I do health and small business.
Okay, what I want you to do, the piece of paper that I have given you, the two ladies are going to work together, or do you know each other too well? What are your businesses? I know, retired. Did you put new tires on the car? I'm there too. I'm retired. I'm never going to take anything more than 5. All right, we have everybody have one of these? I want you to get with the person that you want to pair up with, sit next to them, and what I've given you is your first. Everyone back, All right, how did that go? Did we have any successful alliances that may very well turn into committed? What about you two? Good, good. It's a good start, isn't it? Yes. Anybody else? Did you get any good start on a committed alliance that might work? Now, remember, these may not all be committed alliances. I don't expect everyone that you meet's gonna be your best friend. But it's a start. It's a start, and definitely you three, actually, and you want all of us. But the point is, those definitely you could. What were some of the ahas that you came up with? Or some of the possible alliance things that you could do together? Let's put it that way. What did you decide?
Well, this gentleman does realty, and I'm a landscaper, and I also do design and stuff, so on maybe to help sell his home, he could do a design for the residents instead of help him with the sales muscle.
Right, yeah, perfect. You're both doing, you're helping each other in both parts of that. Okay, let's have it quiet so we can hear. What are some other things that you can do?
We talked about empowering people, so we really just talked about a specific event or event, but people for helping people be stronger and more powerful.
Right, coaching is what it's all about. It's whatever way you can do that. Absolutely. So see what happens when you literally screen somebody. You sit down and you look at them in the eye, and is this really going to work? Do we have that feeling it's going to make it? Are they going to be committed? Are they going to actually give as much as they receive? These are all really important things, but it starts with you. They have your attention, ladies? It starts with you. It really does start with you. You can't expect anyone else to come do something for you. You have to give. And what I tell people, and it's very valuable, make a list of the things you want to see in both your customers and your alliances. So it's 2 lists. These are the qualities I want them to have. These are the things that they will have access to. And then look at yourself. Do you have those qualities? If you don't, you better find some way to get them. Because why would someone want you as an alliance? If you're not outgoing and positive and have resources and know a lot of people in your industry, why would they want to be with you? So you need to develop yourself personally, because actually you are the product. You are the product. Believe it or not, your service and your whatever you're selling is really inconsequential. They're buying you. And if you're not going to be worth buying, they will not spend time putting any value into your relationship. So it starts with you. So be sure that you look at alliances that you want to go toward. Think about the ones you really want to work toward. Think about the ones you already have. Now, I've been going into businesses and giving a 1-hour strategic session. And what I've come up with, and all the people that I've done it with, is that I'm finding that the gold mine is in their present customers. They just thought of them for doing their home, period. Excuse me, what do they do in their regular life when they're not at home? Who do they know when they're doing that? You suppose they're going to need someone to do the home? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we're uncovering a gold mine before I even get to the cards they haven't touched yet. So I'm passing this around. If you would like to be involved in having a complimentary strategy session, more than happy to do that with you for an hour to uncover just an idea of where you can go. And of course, I'd like to do coaching as well. So think about what your alliance is that you want. Qualify it, define it, see if it is you as well. And you will bring the value out. Others will be attracted. Give it to the universe. When you do that, you'd be surprised. It will come back to you. It will come back. I almost assure you of that. If you give it out authentically. And remember the 4 G's. Get to know them. Give them referrals, grow together, and get out and go. Do it. You never know. That stranger that you meet may turn out to be your next best friend. Any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's it.
Wasn't that wonderful? Jackie, as always,
Oh, they've got it.
give her another hand.
I've seen her